Okay, so today we are in New Orleans.
New Orleans, yes.
Not New Orleans,
No,
New Orleans.
and not Nolans, but New
New
Orleans.
Orleans. And I am with Chris,
Yes.
and Chris has gone through our apprentice program
Yes.
and has had some very, I must say, atypical results. Some very exciting results, right?
Yes.
And we're here in his house to have him share this with us. And we're going to talk about kind of how it's gone for him and everything. But before we get too far into it, real quickly, tell everybody your background. I understand is like a corporate background.
Yeah, I was a high-tech consultant.
Okay.
Worked a lot of hours, traveled a lot, made good money, but, was never home.
And you left that world how long ago?
About 10 years ago.
Okay. And so over that last 10 years, what have you been doing? I mean,
Being an entrepreneur, but primarily focused on internet marketing, trying to generate some income off the internet.
okay. And has it worked or?
Yeah, I mean, nobody's cut me a paycheck but me for the past 10 years. So yes, it did work. But there's been feasts and famines, highs and lows.
Gotcha. So you've made a living, and you've
Yes.
had sometimes it's been great, and sometimes it hasn't been so great.
That's fair.
But obviously you're still looking for sort of that holy grail of something that's going to have like a steady, consistent flow.
I don't know that I'm still looking now.
Okay.
I think I've found something. I found for me what the Holy Grail is. Yeah.
Okay. And that is
It's the postcard system. It's direct mail.
direct mail.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been good to me.
Yeah. I'm not messing with the internet really at all anymore.
Wow. Okay, so your experience has been you joined the apprentice program how long ago? Was it 4 months ago, 5 months ago?
As soon as the apprentice program was available.
So the very first one that we did.
Yeah, I was probably one of the first 3 people. I mean, as soon as the clock said sign up, I was there. I was one of the first ones, yeah.
And your experience with that, I mean, so like, for example, I know that a lot of people watching this are considering whether or not they want to go through the apprentice program and, is it worth it and all that kind of stuff. How has it been working with the coaches?
I was very surprised. I signed up and I thought, okay, I'm going to be working with Luke. And when initially I talked to some coaches and it wasn't working with Luke, I mean, I understood that you can't deal with everybody. So I was a little skeptical, but man, I'll tell you what, I am a big fan of the coaches. I was very surprised with how much they knew. I mean, I'm not trying to sell the coaching or anything like that, but I know marketing and that sort of thing, and these guys they had every answer that I was very impressed. I really was.
And the bottom line is that, I mean, that program is what helped you get the results that we're going to share with everybody today.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it was complete, definitely.
And okay, so let's not draw out the excitement too much further. Let's go ahead. And one of the reasons that we're here today is because Chris called me. Actually, Chris didn't call me. One of Chris's coaches called me. I didn't even know about Chris until a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago maybe. And I'd heard his name bandied about by some of the coaches. We've got this guy, a student that's really taken off, and we've got lots of students that have gone out there and made the program work. I mean, that's what the program's designed to do. But the kind of numbers that Chris was getting, I started hearing about him. I said, I got to find out who this guy is. So I gave you a call, and I'm pleasantly shocked.
Mm-hmm.
And here's why I'm shocked. I'm not shocked because because I didn't expect it to happen and the system doesn't work. But most of the people that I've had big results with, who have had big results with this system, have worked with me personally. So you're the first one to have really big results without working with me directly. And so that was really exciting to me that, wow, the system is working on its own.
Yeah.
That's awesome to me.
Right.
And so I said, hey, do you mind, if we come out and you get your story on film so that everybody can see it? And so, anyway, let's not draw it out. You're going to show us some numbers here that are, I believe, your second month with this project once you had everything up and rolling?
Yes. I'm very excited about this. So,
I don't mean to cut you off real quick. Again, this is not typical. Your results may vary. You may make nothing, okay? But this is Chris's result.
And look, I never really intended for this to be what it's become. It was just going to be a side project for me.
Right.
And I mean, obviously, you can see the first month we did some testing. I got some very promising results. Just like, I mean, it was not anything new. It was just exactly what was kind of predicted in the training.
So did that freak you out a little bit? Like it actually, because you've bought a lot of courses and done a lot of things like I have. And did it freak you out a little bit that, oh my gosh, this actually did exactly what it said it was going to do?
No. You know what? I kind of take, especially this, I took it at face value because this is so outside of what my normal paradigm is with the internet. I didn't have any frame of reference, so I believed.
Okay.
And the first month looks like, and this is just credit cards. My e-checks are done through a separate interface, but from January 1st to January 31st, first month sales were
$89,423.05.
Yeah, I mean, this is gross. But
yes, again, Chris did not put all this money in his pocket. No. There were costs and expenses involved, but it's a profitable business.
Very. Yeah, I mean, this was pretty much going from zero to $90,000. I mean, the first month was just testing, so the results were. That month was not meant to generate a bunch of income. It was just to kind of test the system out a little bit.
Okay, now I know a lot of what people are going to be, thinking to themselves is, okay, well, he probably put $60,000 into this. I mean, I don't want you to get into exactly what you spent because, that's your business and all that kind of stuff. But did you go out and spend tens of thousands of dollars to get this thing going?
I didn't. No, I've reinvested. I mean, the business has been able to pay for itself to scale, and I've still been able to peel money off.
Okay.
So,
what did you start with? A couple grand?
Yeah, probably maybe 2,000 bucks because it was right before Christmas. I didn't have a lot of a big budget to spend on.
Which is usually what I tell people when they're starting off is like, listen, you can get started in this really cheap, but if your idea of really cheap is $200-300, you need to save up. You need to have a little bit to work with. But do you know of any business? I don't know of any that you can generate 90 grand in cash flow the second month, starting off with $2,000 to work with.
No, especially I mean I come from the internet world where people talk about it's real fast on the internet and stuff like that. I didn't see these kind of sales right out the gate with internet marketing at all.
I'm going to steal a little bit of your thunder. He's going to show us. We're 2 weeks into his third month, and this shocked me. So this is month 2.
Great month. I mean, this was like anybody who was a doubter was now a believer when they saw this the first month.
Yeah. What about family and friends? I mean, you've been looking and searching, and things have worked obviously. So you've got some sort of belief level there with your support, family and friends and stuff. But what do people tell you when you started off?
I was really excited when I went through the training, and I kind of shared the excitement with a lot of my in-laws, especially.
Okay.
And you always want especially your father-in-law to kind of say, you know what, I got faith that this guy's going to pull it off. So I showed him some projections on, man, if the business does this, it'll do this. And he was kind of like, oh, that's nice. But they're here visiting now for Mardi Gras.
Okay.
And I've been able to say, dude, remember what I told you? What I showed you?
Did you say it just like that, dude?
Pretty much. Yeah, I said, dude, remember the numbers I showed you? That's what's happening. And it's
when you show people that there's nothing they can say. Now all of a sudden it's a whole different paradigm.
Absolutely. So this was very exciting. This was the first month, and to be honest with you, we were still doing a lot of testing.
Okay.
I mean, this was not let's turn it on full blast. But let me show you just a month of testing and tweaking a few things out. Let me show you what the numbers are for this month. Now, today is the 11th or the 12th.
Yep.
So we won't even count today's sales because it's still early in the morning. So let's just talk about the first 11 days. Well, we've had a few sales this morning. Actually, we've had a good amount of sales. Past 11 days, I've done $136,000 in gross sales. And
so almost 90 the first month. Well, over 90 because you had the checks and everything too. So, and this is just credit cards again.
This is just credit cards. It's not e-checks as well.
First 11 and a quarter days of February, and you're at $136,144.40.
If you threw in my checks, I'd probably be right at $200,000. first 12 days, and again, this is half day for February. It's
And that's not even talking about, there's a few things that we don't even go through in the apprentice program that you and I started talking about last night. You're not even scratching the surface.
No.
Because I usually don't talk about those things until you've got something that's
Yeah.
rolling, and then there's some other stuff that you can do to make money beyond, once the machine's going, wow. I mean,
this is definitely, I can count on this. I mean, it's been showing consistency every single, I only take orders during the weekdays, but every single weekday it's been showing consistency. It's something that I feel is becoming predictable and I can count on it, and that's what's exciting.
has it been, okay, so obviously there's a few moving parts, and anybody that's gone through any of my workshops knows this. You know, there's a few metrics that you're watching all the time. You're watching your response rate and your push one rate and your conversion rate and all that. But was it hard to set up?
No, there was nothing that was complicated to set up. It was really just, it was formulaic. Follow the steps. It's done. It didn't take me very long.
Were there, and I know you said this earlier, but you know, have the coaches been taking care of you?
Absolutely. You know, the cool thing about the coaches is maybe if I meant to do something that week, if I didn't get it done, you know, there was that call and you didn't want to take the call and be like, no man, I didn't do it. So the accountability was really important for me to kind of, I didn't want to let them down. I didn't want to let myself down, but I also, you know, if you know somebody's calling on Thursday or whatever day that they're scheduled to call, it really pushes you to go, let me just go ahead and knock it out, so I don't have to
Right.
call the coach and say, I'm wasting my time here. So,
Yeah, I mean, to me, the example that I always give people is it's the difference between having a gym membership and being able to go to the gym and having a personal trainer that, you know, you've got an appointment,
Yeah.
and if you don't show up, you're going to look like an idiot because
Yeah.
you paid for this thing, you know, so that's awesome. So, and they've been able to answer questions.
You know, I don't know if I've already said this, but I was very, very impressed with the coaches. There's been nothing that I mean, I'm a sharp guy. I like to push the buttons and tweak things and everything like that. I can throw some crazy questions at them and they know it. I mean, they've got a background or a foundation in this stuff to where you can tell they're not reading a script or something. These guys know the business. They know this.
Oh, they're
direct mail
doing
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of our coaches actually have to run projects.
You can tell when you talk to them. I mean, it's speaking to a peer, which is really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So with numbers like this, I mean, I don't want to get crazy with any kind of projections or anything, but when you speak with your list broker and you sort of like plan what's coming for the next year, it's got to be.
You know, I don't
mean,
even know how big this thing can get. I mean, it's really, I have only scratched the surface. I mean, this could get, I mean, it could be extremely significant, extremely significant.
Yeah. Well, I'm pulling for you because what I'm hoping is that you actually surpass, you know, some of the best students that I've worked with personally. Because if the coaching program can do that without me having
Yeah.
the hands-on, with me just doing the oversight
Yeah.
and making sure that the information is going through the coaches to you guys. I mean, this is kind of like proof of concept, which is great. And don't get me wrong, we've got lots of people in the coaching program that are doing a few $1,000s a month and, you know, are happy with
Yeah.
that. And a lot of people,
Yeah.
that's all. But, you know, it's exciting to see somebody push the envelope and really push it out there. I mean, it's safe to say you're going to do in the millions this year.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's the first time I'm going to be able to say that. With any business, I mean, for 10 years I've been an entrepreneur by myself. You know, I've had business partners and that sort of thing, but we've done good numbers, but to be able to say I'm going to do in the millions, I've never been able to say that. And with this, there's absolutely no doubt. It's here. It's real. It's that's it. I mean, $136,000 in 11 days.
It's awesome.
It's very awesome.
Well, I've really enjoyed getting to know you, and I'm sure the people are going to really love, you know, the people that watch this video are going to really love watching it. Thanks for letting us come into your house. Thanks for sharing with
Absolutely.
us. I can't wait to come back and do an update.
Yeah.
The update, you know, you're going to fly me in a private jet, right?
Yeah.
And we are in New Orleans.
Yes,
It's Mardi Gras season.
it is.
Um,
Tell you what.
let's go to Mardi Gras.
Let's go to Mardi Gras. Sounds good.